What's up, everybody? Gridbot Guru here, and I am back. Um, I took kind of a break. I needed to sort a couple other things out, and the market wasn't doing a whole lot. We have been in a continuous downward trend, and so I really didn't feel like there was much going on. Um, and I'll get back to that in a bit. But I am here. I'm gonna end up. I'm seeing a lot of people on Telegram, on Discord. They're starting to join Pionex, and they're curious about what the bot does and how to kind of set one up. And so today, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to kind of give you what I personally do when I'm setting up a grid bot because I'm liking the way things are going right now. So if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel, like my video. It gets the video out there. More people who see and are able to use Pionex, the better chances of having quicker, not returns, but like there's going to be more money in the exchange, more move. Like it's just going to be easier for everybody. So let's go ahead and let's get started. So when I was first making the videos, there was some movement, and it was when Bitcoin was a little bit higher. I think it was around 40 or 30,000 at that point. I had also been making other videos, just kind of educational videos in general, and that's kind of where I'm going with this one. I'm going to start off with a grid bot. Now, recently, the last however long, we have had a continuous drop in price. Now, what you are having is you're having a lot of people who ended up saying, well, if you go to 65,000 and because that's the all-time high in Bitcoin, and you have an 85, 87, 90% drop in Bitcoin, because that's historically what has happened, then you come around about 10,000. That's true. You could check out one of my other videos about will Bitcoin go to 10K. I am not here to say it will. That's not what I'm doing. What I am doing is saying that after coming down to around 15K in this area, and what I'll do is put my box here, okay, around this area, it is looking like people are starting to come back to Bitcoin. And even if we as a person, we're wrong in our thinking, and we're like, you know what, 22,000 is a pretty good price for Bitcoin, and it goes down. If you are dollar cost averaging down, 15,000 is a great price. 17,000 is a pretty good price. 19, you're never going to catch and this is my opinion, you will never catch the absolute bottom. So it's kind of like saying, oh, well, it could go lower, it could go lower, it could go low. You're right, it could go lower. But if it doesn't go lower, you're missing out. That's kind of my thoughts. So what we're going to end up doing today is we're going to set up this grid bot. So what I like to do is I like to look at the daily movements, okay? The daily movements. If you haven't, because the grid bot is not it is not a quick action trading um, I'm losing the word, function, I guess. Usually grid bots are kind of slow and steady, and you want to use them to start making some profits with the movement of the price. So it's not usually a very quick and fast thing. Can it be? Yes. So I ended up, a couple weeks ago, I ended up starting a Ethereum bot around this area. And this pump, I made a fairly quick little chunk. I stopped my bot and I'm waiting. So with the US version of Pionex, we cannot short. So we don't have tokens, we don't have the 2L, 2S. So there really hasn't been much to do. But if we are looking and we are watching Bitcoin now, what we have is we have a couple different areas. So we have an area up here. Okay. If you go back, you're looking at this area, we've got an area there. We have another area about right there. Okay. We have another area. Go back, we're going to look around that area. That's a pretty small one. So those are going to be your highs. Now, I am not so much worried about this third one, okay? And I'm going to tell you why here in a bit. But we need to also go down, and we also have some other areas as well. So we have one there, and we have one there. Now, with a Gridbot, your goal is to pick a low point and pick a high point and watch the movement in that area. So what I would do if I'm looking at this is I would end up, you have your high points there. Those, in my opinion, are going to be some areas of support. Could be of resistance, and I'm going to talk a little bit about that here in a bit. You're seeing that one's kind of a bad one. Should be up a little bit more. You're seeing that some of these areas are getting rejected. So you see a big wick, and then it shoots back down. A big wick, it shoots back down. A big wick, it shoots back down. And that is people who are taking profits. They're taking profits, but they don't have the uh, man, I'm losing my words today. It's been a while since I made a video. Confidence. There we go. They don't have the confidence in the price continuing to go up. So what you end up having is people are looking at these and saying, you know what? I'm going to take profit right here. And then it comes back down. I'm going to take profit right here. Now, you will always have people who are also saying that there are people out there who are hunting for these areas, stop loss hunters. And the idea is if you can get through that, you'll break and then you'll have a run. So like right here, they tried and they didn't get it. They tried here and then they broke through and they took off. Okay, you take off to the next area. So you're looking at this and you're kind of watching the charts. So if I am looking at this, this is one big area that I am watching. This area. And the reason why is because I have one and it shoots back up. I have another one, comes back up. I have a couple others and then they go back up. It has broken through. You see it came up here, got rejected, came back down, and then it has broken up through that area. Okay? So this is going to be an area, this 18.8 to 18.3 area. That's a big, strong area, and this is all my opinion. So if I'm setting up this Gridbot, this is some of the things I'm looking for. I am not necessarily worried about this area, but what I would do is I would end up always, I personally like to chunk up my different amounts into different bots. So I would set up, there's a couple different bots I would set up right now. And the first one being a bot, oops, let me get out of that. The first one, okay, if we're looking at all of these, the first one I am going to end up setting up is I'm taking this area, so this 22.8 to 22.4 area. What I would do is I would come down and we'll do a long. And the percentages aren't anything, but what I would do is I would put and wait for an area kind of right in there. And I would put my bottom probably around 22. And then my top, I would put up there. Actually, I would probably put it up here. And I would get rid of this one. Now, what you can end up seeing with this is if Bitcoin stays in this boxed in area, it is going to be making trades. Now, if I start Bitcoin, the bot right now, and it goes down, it's going to be negative. I will have lost money, but I'm also kind of buying that dip. Okay, so I'm buying that dip as it goes. And once it gets back up into this area, I'll be in profit. But I'm using the high and the low and the supports for those. And I'm also giving myself a little bit of wiggle room. Okay. And again, I'm not saying that we're doing long, shorts, and stop loss. What I am saying is this is kind of the area where I would be looking to start a bot. What I'll do is actually, I will do another box, but I'll change the color. We'll do green. So I would look for something around this area. Now, I would watch and I would watch and I would watch and I would play off of this. So if this goes all the way down, this is my next area I would look at. So I might start another bot from about right there all the way down here. And it's all right if they're overlaying each other as well. This one will make a little pinkish. So as long as the bots are staying in those boxes, they're going to be making trades. If they go out of those boxes, they will not trade, but they can come back into those boxes and continue trading. So if this doesn't hold and it starts going down, in my opinion, I would hold off on a trade until we get down to this area. And I would see what it does. But this area, you could have as another bot. So you see kind of how the power of these bots are bringing you. Again, if it's staying in the box, it will be trading. If we keep going, I'm looking at this area and this 15, what was it, 15.4 to about 16. That kind of area looks like a bottom. And again, if you're looking at this and you're like, you know what, and we're way, way low like this, it's all good. Let's see, we're going to do orange this time. There's another bot. So right there, I've taken 4 bots and I've made them. If you continue, and those could be done with $100 each. Okay, $100 each. And if you're looking at this and you end up measuring, so we'll say, that's not what I want. So if we end up measuring, so this area, this bottom area, that orange box, we would have been in that orange box for around 65 days. 65 days. And then we would have been in the purple box for about 9 days because it just shot up, but you're making profit on that whole time. And then if we would have went to the pink, we would have probably been in there for about 3 days, 3 to 5 days, because it did come back down a little bit. And then that green, we're still kind of trying to figure out how long we would have been in there. But the thing is that whole time you're making profits. So you're making profits. As long as you're holding and it goes to the top, and you take your profit there, you're going to make profit. Even if it dips all the way back down, it will look like it is red, but you will still, if you're holding on to it, and it is one of those things where, as I've always said, you're not using a rent check, you're not using your car payment for crypto. If you have money that you have the ability to absolutely lose, and I'm talking lose, like it's gone. You saw what happened with FTX. You're seeing some of these other exchanges and they're going down. Like, why not? Wait it out. 65 days is nothing if you're going to make 10% on your investment. So, be thinking about these things. Don't put all your money in one bot, and just kind of be ready. Be ready for anything to happen. So those are some of the things that I'm looking at. If I'm looking at this personally, I'm looking at, I like to use the MACD and the RSI a lot of times. And what I like to do is just kind of glance at them. I'll use daily. I will also use the 1 week. Okay. So in my opinion, we're going to be coming back down a little bit. And I'm looking for that area of 21,000. So that area, that's the one that I'm going to want to be watching. I do think that we are, I'm going to say this, and I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, but this and that. So I do think we are headed up. I don't think we're fully out of the bear market yet, but I do think that we are on our way to digging ourselves out of the bear market. Can we still go to 10K? Absolutely, we can. Absolutely. If you look, that's going to be the next. So we have way over here, which was around 10K. Here, this is 12K. This area, that's about 9.6. So we have this area that we really saw some movement, and this is on the weekly. Okay, so we're seeing some area here where it's coming down. We have some life. It would not surprise me if it comes down one hard final time before we start going up. But that's just my opinion. It could be 100% wrong, and this could be the start of a bull market, and I'm sitting here talking about, oh, we may still go down. No one really knows. It's all going to be based on what everybody in the entire world, all the institutions, they want to happen. So anyway, that's some things that I look at for to start my bots, where to start my bots, and how to kind of digest the charts when you are looking at a bot. All right. So, as I've always said, everybody, I hope everybody is being smart with their crypto. I'm wanting you guys to make sure you are getting some returns on it. I do not want to hear about people saying, "Oh, I put this and that," and you hear it all the time. I took out a loan, took out a $5,000 loan, and I put it. Now that loan is worth $1,500. I still have faith. Like, don't do that. Be responsible for your investment. With your investments, be responsible for your life. Okay. As always, I hope everybody has a great week trading. I want you guys to be green. And if you like this video, please subscribe, show your friends. If you have not signed up with Pionex, use the link above, and then that will help me out as well, the Pionex link. All right, see you next time.